big international story that will affect you and me. UK's exit from the European Union has had an impact on markets across the world. We here at Magic Bricks Now are giving you a lowdown on what Brexit means for the real estate sector here in India. Suyesh Sawant is here with more.
Has Brexit made the London property market more attractive for Indian investors? To understand this, I spoke with international brokerage Sotheby's. They usually sell properties in London to Indian investors, and when I asked them if their inquiries have gone up, I was told that their inquiries have rather gone up by nearly 30 to 40%, although they said that it is a little early to talk about it because it's just the weekend that has passed, but they said that they had seen an increase in inquiries by about 30 to 40%. In fact, they also said that the prices have softened and even the sellers have become more flexible now. So a property which would ideally go out for 1.5 million, now the sellers are okay with selling it for 1.3 million. And the fact that the pound has seen a 31-year low, that has really helped in softening the market on the whole. In fact, they also told me that Brexit has come at an opportune time for Indians especially, because most of them are holidaying in London right now. A lot of them have their children studying abroad and they are scouting for properties in London, and this has definitely boosted the sentiment for Indian investors, and they are now looking at buying properties in London.
Thank you, Suyesh, for that wrap-up. And to take this forward, we're now being joined by Anuj Puri, Chairman and Country Head at JLL India. Anuj, thank you so much for taking time out to be with us here on the Property News and Magic Bricks Now. Tell us, firstly, how will Brexit impact real estate sector on the whole?
I mean, it is still very early to determine what the impact on the real estate is going to be within the UK, given the Brexit results which came out last Friday. Obviously there is nervousness around the result of the polls. It was purely unexpected that Britain would vote out from the EU. And as the corporates try and understand where they're going to relocate their operations in case they are looking to exit from the UK into the EU, then there will be an impact given that some of these corporates may want to move their headquarters out of the UK. We heard over the weekend a couple of the banks deciding to move some of their staff from the UK into the other countries in EU. That will certainly have some kind of an impact on the office market and consequently on the residential.
Anuj, in specific, tell us how exactly will the London property market shape up from here on? And also, more importantly, is this the right time for Indian investors to invest in London?
Are we going to see more interest, and that is it becoming more attractive for the Indian investors to buy properties in the UK? So the answer is definitely yes. And the reason I say in a short frame of 4 days why the answer is yes is purely because of the devaluation of pound sterling. I mean, the pound has certainly fell in the last 30 years. We've not seen the devaluation of the pound sterling so steeply as we saw last Friday. So clearly from the international investors, London or the UK has become about 8 or 9% cheaper than what it was about a week ago. And if the pound continues to devalue compared to the US dollars or some of the other international currencies, clearly it becomes a lot more attractive destination for the international community to invest in the UK. This is one of the reasons that many of the bankers are also saying that the UK economy will remain very resilient, because with the devaluation of the pound, the economy becomes that much more competitive, that much more cheaper, and you're going to see more international money coming into the economy, not only for the business but also for the real estate sector, which, as I said, is that within a week has become cheaper by 8 or 9% purely with the devaluation of the pound sterling.
All right, Anuj, one last thing. IT companies like Infosys, TCS, HCL, they earn a third of their revenues from the European Union. And the IT sector, being a leading occupier of office space in India every year, Tell us, how will this Brexit affect the office space market in the country?
So how's that the impact of Brexit going to happen on the Indian, certainly office sector? Fortunately, a lot of our office sector is dependent either on the American corporates, which are really the IT outsourcing companies, or to the local corporates, which is the Indian corporate sector, whether it's media, pharmaceutical, or the financial community in India. The European corporates is really a single-digit percentage of the total absorption in office market. So about 8 or 9% of the take-up every year is by European corporates. So if there is going to be a slackness in the demand with the Brexit from European corporates outsourcing to countries like India, it is going to have a marginal impact because our dependence on European corporates for the office space is no more than 8 to 9% every year.
All right, Anuj, we will leave it at that. Anuj Puri of JLL, thank you so much for taking time out to be with us here on the Property News and Magic Bricks Now.
You can watch live TV on our website, mpnow.in. Find us on Facebook at facebook.com/Magic Bricks Now. And don't forget to click the like button. You can also follow us on Twitter at Magic Bricks Now. To stay updated with all our programming, hit the subscribe button on our YouTube channel by logging on to youtube.com/Magic Bricks Now.